And now on CJC, ChattleBots.
Hello everyone and welcome to ChattleBots. My name is Chris, I like robot combat and I'm with 5 people who like robot combat. We've got Jack, who currently is not packing Footy's Neymar right now.
No.
Unfortunate for him. Porry, we got Beav, we got Doot, and we've got Zassa. We've got a fucking stacked lineup for you because guess what?
None of the rest of us got subtitles.
What is all this? I could think of
absolute favoritism.
All I could think of was a funny thing that happened to Jack, and then I was like, "Fuck it, that's it. The well is completely dry."
No one else has said hi, so we'll just have to take Chris's word for it that there's 5
other
people.
Yeah. No, I'm assuming the form of the other 4 guests we have today, but you know what? It's fine because today is a very exciting day. Or the last couple of days have been very exciting because the BattleBots face-off, which I only found out today, it has never officially been called Fall Faceoffs at any point. We know who the robots are, and we know when they're fighting, and we know who they're fighting. We're having full robot combat in the year of our Lord 2024. And in a safe arena.
Almost
in
the
a
entire
safe
year.
arena.
Oh, I love safety. It's so good. I love not getting hit by shrapnel.
Yes.
It feels so good.
It's beautiful.
Oh God.
It's free souvenirs.
So, for a little bit of context, it's been quite a while. I mean, if you're listening to a Robot Combat podcast and are on the 4th episode of this, I would imagine you already know, but just in case you don't have a Scooby-Doo about what's happening, it's been a while since World Championship 7 aired. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes bullshit that's been happening or has happened that I won't get into today because it's a rabbit hole that is so deep I don't even want to think about it. But for the most part, we're starting to get towards the end of that drought, and we're getting new BattleBots in some way or some form, and it'll be through BattleBots face-offs where how many teams is it? It's like 20-something teams.
We have got 28 robots.
There's 28
robots.
A couple of them are from the same teams.
Yeah. 28 bots across the span of about 3 months fighting each other, which the fights will basically be whichever group it is. There'll be 3 fights for each block of days. So, for example, the first block of fights will be from September the 20th to the 22nd, and there'll be 6 fights, two for each day. You get the idea. It's 3 days, 2 fights each, and yeah, that's basically what's happening. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is there 7 groups? Is it 7 or 8 groups?
7 groups.
Nice
7 groups. I'm good at counting. I'm extremely good at counting.
This is the man who is hosting this entire episode, by the way, and he has no idea what's actually going on. So I think this is going to be a good one.
Listen, you're all carrying me. I'm basically.
He's just the charisma. We're the experts.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're all the play-by-play, and I'm Peter Drury screaming into the microphone. That's me, mate.
Look, it makes it so better. None of us know what the fuck is going on either, so.
And we're supposed to know. So let's go through the first group of robots that'll be fighting between September the 20th and the 22nd, 2024. We've got Scorpios, Calypso, Mad Catter, and Roundhouse.
Yes,
I'm
indeed.
so excited.
It just dawned on me that Horizon's not actually in it, is it? It's Calypso now, isn't it?
Yeah,
No.
Calypso.
Yes.
So it was originally going to be. It was I don't know. It wasn't originally going to be Horizon. It was originally announced as Horizon, And then they did the old bait and switch, and bang, surprise, we've got a new heavyweight. So yeah, now it's
I love the look of Calypso. I really do.
I will say I am going to miss Horizon. As far as I know, we aren't going to be seeing both being run at the same time unless we get very lucky with sponsors. But
I will clarify this because the team has said as much publicly, but not necessarily everyone has seen or heard it. Horizon isn't going anywhere. They just wanted to do something different and fresh to, not burn out motivation to build more Horizon and keep it fighting. So they wanted to do something different, and so we've got Calypso, who is also really cool, and is crabs, and I like that.
Yeah. So Calypso, Calypso is a £250 adaptation of a £1 bot made by Joshua Kong. I haven't seen it fight. I probably have seen it fight if it's been in NHRL or something like that. But no, I haven't. No, £1. Are you kidding me? Yeah, stupid. Of course I haven't seen it, but I love it. I really really like the look of it.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see it fight.
Yeah, I'm really I'm not overly familiar with the £1 version personally. As far as I'm aware, it is not crab themed.
It isn't.
No, definitely not. Yeah.
Well, then at that point, who cares about it?
Yeah, in case you're not familiar with the robots, I'm sure Chris will put a lovely little photo on for you guys.
Yes.
It looks a little bit like Valkyrie if you put the disc like at the other end of it and made the disc a bit smaller, maybe a bit thicker, and then put some light forks on the other side.
I like to think of it as what would happen if me and PP3D had a romantic evening together. That is the outcome. I don't know how it became. I don't know how it became a crab, but it did.
Everything evolves into a crab.
I guess everything. Everything becomes a crab eventually. But it's a really wide undercutter. It's got a disc, I think, approximately twice the weight of Horizons and a little larger. I don't know the exact dimensions of it.
That sounds pretty fun.
It's got some really interesting fork placements from what I remember, or at least the £1 version does. I don't remember if the 250-pound will, but it's asymmetrical in its front end setup.
Yeah.
I don't believe the heavyweight is, but the £1 version, by the looks of the pictures we've got, the forks are kind of funky place, which could be fun if they do.
Sure, I've actually seen some frames come out of Horizon's team as well, showing that it's slowly coming to fruition, isn't it? So
it is indeed. Yeah, Dylan posted some stuff to Uta today as we're talking. The 30th of August is when we're recording this. He posted a few to the server. I think he's welding it all today.
Nice.
So, yeah, it really is coming along.
Oh, is that what that photo is? What the one?
Yeah, the big metal frame. That was Calypso.
That's crazy.
Breaking news on ChattleBots. That's exciting.
Wow.
It's
live Chris JC reaction.
I'm definitely curious to see how it does because, I don't actually know if it's intended to be an applicant for next season or if it's just hey, we'll bring it if it does well, or if they're just nah, we want it to have fun with. If it is trying for BattleBots, it might have some stiff competition because there's a lot of new or potentially upcoming undercutters that it has competition with, and we'll talk about some of those later. But it's in the same group. It's in the same group as the one that really made a splash last year, Roundhouse.
Roundhouse.
Really excited to see come back. That thing's scary.
I am a big Roundhouse fan. I do like Roundhouse a lot. I hope it does well in this group. I hope it gets into World Championship 8, and I hope it wins the whole thing.
Yeah, I love Roundhouse as well.
You heard it here first.
So as you can see, I don't have very lofty heights for most things, but
I love Roundhouse, to be honest.
Roundhouse, for those that don't know. Roundhouse, for those that don't know, it's from the deadlift team from previous seasons. Didn't compete in World Championship 7, but they were in the previous 2. From what we've seen so far, it's fought a proving ground against Orbitron.
Yeah,
it's undefeated so far, I want to say.
Yeah, so it was.
Yes. There's 2 fights against Orbitron.
Day 1, they had weapon issues, but Orbitron disconnected from its controller accidentally, and they got counted out, which is kind of a funny way to end the fight. Day 2, with some tinkering from Jeff Waters of Jackpot on their weapon ESC, they got that thing humming, and they just ripped apart Orbitron. It was a really brutal fight.
I remember because I obviously there's going to be naturally a lot of hype about Orbitron, but seeing Roundhouse completely obliterate it in the way that it did last year, which, funnily enough, a year and 3 days ago was the last fight between Roundhouse and Orbitron. So if you want to, have an existential crisis about time, there you go.
Yeah, feels like it was just yesterday. Yeah, like I am currently undergoing that exact existential crisis right now, and I hate it. Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome. Anytime, Beav.
Join me in this existential crisis, viewers.
I can still hear the sound that Orbitron's front wedge made when it came off and cracked against the Lexan, and I can still hear that sound in my head. So the fact that was a whole year ago, fuck you for reminding me.
Mate, I think that might be tinnitus, so you might want to get that checked out.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Roundhouse.
Maybe. I'll get that checked out.
We'll talk a bit more about Orbitron later, because I don't want to just dismiss Orbitron by saying it'll get itself kicked by Roundhouse. They've been working. They've been cooking.
We do have 2 other veteran robots to talk about in this group, and that is Scorpios and Mad Catter, who I have wanted to see fight for years. So
have they never fought before? They've never fought each other before.
They've never fought.
Seriously?
That's wild.
I mean, Big Dill fought Scorpios, but that doesn't really count, does it? But
well, yeah, Big Dill also fought Mad Catter, so I guess we can link to that way. How they each did against Big Dill, but
very surprised to hear that.
I'm so excited for it because I wanted that for a
long time. Scorpios fought Bad Kitty. That's kind of the same thing. It's the same team, isn't it?
Actually, yeah, it can be.
That's annoying.
Yeah, whatever. Don't really have much to say about them. They're already fairly good and established. Though I think is Scorpios intended to have a redesign in Fall Faceoffs, or is that much later? Can't remember now.
Yes, is I believe from the video they're saying it's like 9.5 is what they've said, what they've called this iteration.
Yeah, so I don't know for certain, but from what I remember, they're bringing mostly the same frames that they've been using, but with some internal changes, and there might be some change to like its balance or something. I'm not 100% certain. I think the main thing is that they're running like the wheelie bar and the new disc and some new motors and stuff. But
yeah, the upgrades have got
that I might be misremembering.
I think you are right. I think it is the weapon assembly that they're testing out for this time, but it's the on the body of old versions of Scorpius.
All I know for sure is that they're not running the supposed 6-wheel version that they were talking about a while back.
Yes, the Tyrrell.
Yeah, no, I just want to see what this 6-wheel version actually looks like. At this point, that is all I care about when it comes to Scorpios. I'm not gonna lie.
Damn, I'm sending this to Zach and Diana.
I'm very sorry, but
they'll send you a secret pic of a cat. I don't know.
They probably would, to be honest. I feel like that's something Zach would do. He just seems like the kind of guy who would just be like, well then, okay, I guess I'll just fucking show her. How do you like this, eh? And then it's okay, so like
this is where you find out it's got 8 wheels instead.
That would be wild. But yeah, so whenever somebody actually brings up the 6-wheel Scorpios, for the classic Robot Wars heads who are currently listening to this, if you remember what 6-pack looks like from the very classic Robot Wars, that is what I imagine 6-wheel Scorpios looks like, but it, however, it just has a hammer on it. That is just what I envision every single time.
Scorpios going over the fucking seesaw and flying. We love it.
Oh yeah,
Falling backwards.
Who can remember that time Scorpios tried to attack a 75-point target and shat itself?
Can't forget. Well, we've got not Mad Catter and Scorpios. There's not really much else to say about each one.
Yeah,
that we already.
It's just two robots I like a lot.
September 20th to 22nd, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Are our dates on those?
Yes, we
So
are.
I suppose the question is, who do you think's going to win this this whole group? Because I don't think this has actually been said yet, but basically, format of this is that it's going to be a round robin tournament. Whoever wins the most fight wins the group. That's as simple as that. There's no further stages.
Shaking my head. So they copied Robot Wars Series 8. Can't believe them.
It's worth saying as well, I don't believe there's any kind of anything for the winners of these groups, whoever wins the most or anything like that. There's no kind of
there hasn't been anything established. They've talked about different things to do, so we don't know. We probably won't know until it starts happening.
Well, let's think about it in World Cup talk. Who's going to top? Who do you think is going to top the group?
My brain says.
Well, I mean, that's a completely different group.
Roundhouse.
I'm in the same camp.
I was going to say Roundhouse is my rogue pick, but now
I'm pretty much the same. My heart is saying Roundhouse, my head saying Mad Catter.
Yeah, I'm going to say Roundhouse for my rogue pick, but of course its main weaknesses, we've only seen it fight twice, as far as I know.
Yeah, I can see Roundhouse possibly beating Calypso. I think Calypso, unfortunately, is going to struggle because it's quite a strong group.
Yeah, and also it's going to be
it's not just a strong group, but a group consisting of one horizontal who outreaches them and two bots who are fairly good against horizontals.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a rough group for Calypso to get wins. But we'll see how it
Calypso does have those forks. Maybe it can somewhat hurt Mad Catter and Scorpios.
I understand. I think it's
it's not impossible.
Yeah, it's just all how it works, though.
But whether it's going to get wins, I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
I'd love
to. It'd be nice if it did, though.
Hopefully.
So it's basically a toss-up between Roundhouse and Mad Catter. I'm going to take the safe choice and say Mad Catter. Out of the sort of more storied veterans of that group, I think Mad Catter is generally the more successful and, in my opinion, the better robot. But
Scorpios also just has a hard time with Verts. So
I do love Scorpios, but I'm gonna be a bit more realistic. I'm gonna go Mad Catter for this one.
Yeah. For me with that, you know what? I'm ride or die for Team Robo Gym. Roundhouse 3-0. It's happening.
First. Let's go, the dream.
I very much respect that.
I feel
I'd say probably Mad Catter, then probably Scorpius, then Roundhouse, then Calypso.
But, I've got to say Roundhouse tops it. Mad Catter second, and I've got to be honest, I've got to tie Scorpius and Calypso third. Sorry, I keep reading off of the supporters the BattleBots website, which is why I've just said that. I've also just realised it's got a load of spelling mistakes, so it's called Roundhouse.
Roundhouse.
You probably could work a first through fourth based on if you got two teams that have got one win each, whichever one's won by knockout. I don't know. You could probably work something out there.
Yeah, we're gonna have our own unofficial point system. I don't know. For me, I'm gonna go from top to bottom: Mad Catter, Roundhouse, Scorpios, Calypso.
Okay.
I am going to be boring and completely agree with that. I don't think, as much as I'd like Roundhouse to be first, I would have to be convinced by an earlier fight where it quite convincingly kind of gets around Scorpios, where it just kind of breaks past Calypso. Like, I kind of have to see it fighting at a level which it can beat Mad Catter at before I think it can beat Mad Catter. Which is a really stupid thing to say, but I hope you know what I'm. But I hope you know what I mean when I say it.
Yeah, we've still got very little to go off of Roundhouse. Like, it didn't do rubber games, for example. Thank God. You know, it only really had. I mean, not through any fault of its own. Orbitron just died, but it's only really had one proper fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we might find some things out about Roundhouse on the team.
Yeah, it's a lot of hype. It's a lot of hype, but like, it's nice to have that hype about a new robot that isn't Manta.
Yeah.
Are we done with Group A then? Do you reckon?
Yeah, we're
so.
done with Group A. September 27th and 29th, 2024. We have 4 more robots. We got Jackpot. We got Malice. We got Lucky. And we've got our only Proving Grounds robot of that group in Disarray.
Yeah. So.
All right. So I just want to preface this group by saying that I'm very mad that Jackpot moved to this group. Not because like I dislike any of these fights, but because it fought all 3 of these robots already. I was like, damn it, give us a new matchup.
Yeah, no, I thought I was noticing that when I was looking
not that it didn't have a rematch already in the group it was originally scheduled to be in, but
yeah, I prefer its original group as well. Personally, I don't really know if I want to see Jackpot Disarray again.
I'm sure the Disarray team doesn't want to see that again either.
What group was Jackpot originally in? Just remind me.
So it was in with Cobalt, Slammo, and Warthog, I believe. We'll get to those 3 later.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
It's not like the other.
No, and I mean, like, I do kind of agree with you guys. We don't want just constant rematches. So in fact, I am going to make a public call out to Mr. Jeff Waters himself
in the jackpot Lucky run back, just because the first one was kind of controversial.
Oh,
so, like, I'm interested to see if Jackpot can kind of put a period on that, or if Lucky can avenge their loss. And then Jackpot Malice, the last time they fought, was pretty good.
Yeah, that was.
Well, the interesting thing about the Jackpot Lucky rematch,
off the top of my head, or am I going nuts?
They fought twice, haven't they? Now.
Yeah, they're 1-1 against each other.
Oh crap! Have they fought in Robo games?
No, they didn't fight at Robo Games. They fought. They fought in season 6, and Jackpot won. And then they fought as an exhibition at Remars 2, which, as of today, still has not been made public.
Sorry, I'm having a technical crisis because I didn't realize they
destroyed Jackpot pretty badly.
Sorry, I'm just having a brief existential crisis now because you've said Malice and Jackpot have fought in World Championship 6, and somehow that has slipped my mind. How?
It wasn't a super exciting fight. I think Malice's weapon went down pretty early, and then Jackpot just kind of kicked it around for a little while. Malice was having a lot of belt issues that year, I think.
Did you want to say something?
Belt issues with season 5. I don't remember.
I mean, I could try to. So on Jackpot versus Lucky, I think the interesting thing about that fight is that, of course, Lucky will be missing their driver that has kind of been not getting them into like stardom for the last few years, but it's been just like, it's just been like helping them actually get into the limelight a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I do have to wonder how Lucky is going to do without Matt Owens. Is it Matt Owens?
Matt Olson.
Yeah, right. That was close enough. But yeah, no, I am wondering.
Fuck's sake! I thought the same thing. I was like, Matt Olson, Mary Kate and Ashley. Fuck's sake!
Oh, dear.
I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be Mark that's going to be driving. Maybe he might pull someone else. It's definitely Mark. Okay.
Has he driven Lucky before in BattleBots?
Might have done.
So he was the driver for it in seasons 3 and 4, I'm pretty sure, and then he drove it at Robo Games and at Proving Ground.
Yeah, and obviously he's taking how long?
So yeah, I was gonna say. So he's been driving Lucky for quite a while, and
Okay, so
Lucky
he's got some
style robots
experience.
for quite a while. So he's got plenty of experience with that. Just a very different driving style from that.
I would have loved to have seen Gary Jin return to the stick.
Oh, that
to
would have
Lucky.
been funny.
That would have been so fun. Just for this one. So he drove it in. For anyone who doesn't know, we drove it during the 2016 season.
Yep.
Before we had free shipping, of course. Yeah, he seemed to do all right then. He is one of the elite drivers.
Yeah, I mean, like he lost both of his fights, but they were against Beater and Yeti, so can't entirely blame him for that.
Funnily enough, he would then beat Beater anyway with free shipping, so he evens out her.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure Mark will do a great job though.
Ears open.
If I'm gonna rank this group, for me, I'm just gonna have to rank it in the order that it already is in. So I'm going Jackpot, Malice, Lucky, Disarray. Like I love Lucky, you know how I feel about flippers. I love Lucky, but I don't like Malice and Jackpot have the and I guess Lucky too, because obviously that's been they've been in Robo games as well. But like Jackpot, like especially has had the benefit of having a lot of proving grounds fights, as well as the Robo game stuff as well. Like Jackpot is more impressive than I think most people give it credit for. It is an impressive machine. I think
serious.
Yeah, I don't see Jackpot losing this group. Like I think it will be a close match between Jackpot and Malice, but like for me, it's a no. I don't like Jackpot is the best machine in this group, in my opinion.
I'd have to agree as well, to be fair. I think it's pretty much the same, and I just feel bad for Disarray because they pretty much try their hardest in the proving ground fights, but they just seem to constantly get the shit kicked out of them.
I know.
By other better bots. Aside from the time they decided to smash up Terra Dominator off the top of my head.
Yeah, I was going to say that it was like the Terra Dominator fight. I think it was the first proving grounds fight, and it kicked the shit out of Terra Dominator. And then, like a few months later, it got the shit kicked out of by Jackpot. I do hope, because it has been a while, I do hope that behind the scenes they have been working on the machine.
I'm sure they have. They've rebuilt it.
Yeah. Like I don't want I want to at least hold judgment on Disarray until we see it in action. But if it's anything to go by from what we saw last year, I don't have much hope for it. But I would love to be proven wrong.
Imagine the scenes of the Disarray.
I do think even if it's working a lot better, it is definitely a difficult group because all three of them are battle-hardened veterans.
Yes.
Who have been competing for a long time, who have been on the show for several years.
Yeah, or have been former champions in other events. Like
worthy teams, multiple years.
Yeah, or have been former champions in previous events, like Lucky or Ziggy. 5 times super heavyweight champions. Like,
yeah.
Sure,
it's
a really tough group. I think Disarray. The big thing that they have going for them is that they have been able to keep putting the bot back together after lots of fights.
Yeah.
And I think that this, so long as they can keep that up through this group, that really solidifies their reputation as a reliable team to call on.
Yeah.
And I think that that's an angle along with the whole proving ground winner thing that they can really make use of for applications, because it's tough being a 4-wheel drive vert trying to get on the BattleBots because there's already a lot of them. And a lot of them are so good. So I think that level of tenacity, is something they can leverage to really help with the application.
I think so too. Because even though they've got 5, I think they've lost their last 5 fights now. They've not pulled out of a single fight. In fairness, they've fought Jackpot.
Yeah, and they've taken a good amount of damage.
Tuesday, So yeah, all credit to them for that. I hope they at least get a win here. And if they do, I think it would be a statement win at that.
Yes, totally.
Given the caliber.
Definitely.
Yeah, for me, Jackpot has got to be leading that group. We saw glimpses of it kind of going up a tier again, I think, in Champions 2.
Yes.
And it's only gotten better since. I genuinely think it could be a sleeper pick for next season's Giant Nuts.
Yeah.
I've had it pegged as a dark horse since the disarray matches, because like that stuff was scary.
Yeah, it seriously could go all the way next year. I'm not just saying that.
Yeah, I mean with Jackpot, I know its Champions 2 run was contentious, but it definitely still proves it's capable of some nasty hits. I mean, Cobalt fucking exploded.
Yeah,
I mean, the fact that it beat Whiplash as well, it was no,
I mean, Whiplash was
really
convincing as
important
well.
point
I'll
is
say
that
it then.
Jeff has now had, like 2 years of experience driving big robots in the BattleBots now since the last season. He's got that huge leg up in terms of experience over most of the other drivers in the field.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to really play a part. I think Jackpot's sitting pretty to win this group.
Yeah, his stick time, that guy's stick time has improved like tenfold since.
Yeah.
If not more. It's almost
like I don't deny that, of course, like Jackpot is the clear favorite for this bracket, but I cannot in my heart of hearts say that it will beat Malice, because I just love Malice too much.
It can beat Malice, and it has beaten Malice, but whether it can, I mean, let's not forget we've got a new Malice as well, I believe, that's coming up. Bunny is going to be debuting the Slamfist configuration.
Congrats on building that version of Malice, Jack. I'm proud of you.
Only named.
That's an inside joke, in case people don't know.
By your thoughts.
Famed builder of Malice, Jack Last.
So yeah, every bit of Malice that was red is purple, and it looks gorgeous.
It's amazing. It looks amazing. Like it reminds me of this old Robot Wars '97 robot called Z, and it had this beautiful, like glossy purple look, and I love that it's sort of come back again. In purple's a good fucking color for a robot. I don't give a fuck.
Absolutely. We need so many more.
I'm normally a purple hater. I consider it a bottom 3 color, but I really like the new Malice paint scheme. It looks really pretty.
It's okay to be wrong, mate. I get it. I also love purple.
I'm so happy that a lot of these horizontals that were red and black are steering away from that. Like Bloodsport's doing the same thing in the opposite direction. Like I'm glad that we're differentiating some colors.
Black and red sport need more difference.
Let us know in the comments if you indeed also love purple.
If you
that's
don't
our
like
engagement for this episode.
Yeah, if you don't like purple, unsubscribe.
If you're listening to this moment, put purple in the chat.
Yeah, in lowercase, just purple.
Yeah.
If I'm never seen on the channel again, you all know why I was fired.
So yeah, I'm happy to go on to the next group. This one's the shithousery group. I'm very excited.
This is going to be a lot of fun.
I'm most excited for.
So first of all, like without a doubt, the most hyped robot never to be on an official season of BattleBots yet. It's Manta. Nick Dobrikov's absolute fucking beast of a machine. We've got Travis T, which is the darling of Proving Grounds.
Travis T.
Like
I'm waggling my Travis T poster right now.
If you don't know about Travis T, get the fuck off this podcast and educate yourself. Okay, this is like a 3D printed ironing board as a robot, and it's fantastic. I fucking love it.
And it works as well.
And it works!
Yeah. It's everything that I love about this sport. Everything that I love about this sport. And Kurt's a great guy as well.
We've got Hellfire as well.
I love Hellfire. I just always loved just the mindset of
maybe the funniest fight of all time.
Oh God, yeah.
Thank God for speed controllers, am I right? Fuck me.
I just utterly love the just simple design mentality of here's a really big bit of metal and I am going to hit things with it. Let's see what happens. And I love Hellfire for that. I love Apex for that. I love Travesty for that. I am so excited for this group.
Hellfire man. Like I love the fact that Hellfire is pretty much responsible for giving Overkill a win against a modern machine.
I mean, it's Hellfire really that modern? Largely just Ultra.
Fuck me. And we've got to top off this group, we've got this completely unknown machine, which looks like a Beyblade in the one CAD photo we've got of it. It's UF Whoa.
So what, Mike Zassa, you described this robot in a quite interesting way. What was that way you described this robot again?
Yeah, so the clean version of my assessment of it is that that Battle Saw and Pinch Point had a nice romantic evening together, and this was the result. It appears to be kind of like a gear-shaped full body spinner, but with each half of the robot rotating in a different direction. It's a little hard to tell because all we have is the one CAD image. But if it works the way it looks like it does, I'm really concerned for whatever drugs people were doing when they made it.
If I had a nickel for every time Zassa said "nice romantic evening" on this podcast, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't much, but it's weird that it happened twice.
Yeah. The robot looks like the Revenge of Trouble and Strife, but without the lifter. That's straight up what it looks like to me.
Let's go!
It's what Revenge of Trouble and Strife should have been. I'm still so pissed that thing was a flipper bot.
Revenge of Trouble and Strife mentioned. Let's go.
Wow,
I mean, it's competing in Proving Ground.
That is not on my bingo card today.
I mean, I said earlier that it looks like a Fallout vault door.
I can't wait. I can't wait to find out that this thing is built by the Tilford, and this is the successor to Norway.
Oh shit!
That's the only thing that can make it even funny.
Could you imagine? No, Greg did say to me actually it's a rookie team. So unless he's forgotten and it's a rookie team in the same sense as like Tom Mendenhall, then we should be onto something here.
I'm curious to see how it goes.
I don't have an opinion on UFO, and I don't think it's possible to have an opinion on UFO because it's like apart from that Beyblade-looking CAD, we know nothing about it apart from a brief interaction that Jack had with Greg, which is probably the most we know about this machine.
Which I have to say that is quite exciting. I genuinely cannot think of the last time that, of course, we had like a genuine, just like complete mystery robot.
Travis T. Genuinely Travis T.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, no, I guess so.
I like it. It upsets me that I don't know what it's supposed to be because the logical part of my brain won't accept it. But I love that it is the cherry on top of this horrifically chaotic group where anything could happen.
Yeah, it is chaos incarnate.
Well, what's going to happen is Matt's going to demolish everything, as far as we know. But
it's such a crazy group because we have the 2-time Robo Games champion who is a favorite to go on a deep run in the tournament come season 8. We have Travis T, who is just capable of literally anything at this point. It's such a bizarre robot. It can do no wrong. We have Hellfire, who we've seen for exactly 6 seconds in the arena, and we really don't know. We really don't know what its upper limits are. So
exactly.
It could really surprise us. And then UFO, who we just literally do not know a single thing about other than the fact that it looked crazy.
Yeah, I've just found out as well that we were supposed to have had Travesty versus Hellfire back in January.
Yeah,
imagine.
They were supposed to fight, but they had some issues after the
I
swamp thing
remember that as well.
and
Yeah, it was
they had to pull out, unfortunately.
That's
So
what
again, it resulted in the UDA, which that was fantastic.
If you're watching, fantastic play by you.
Yeah, that's because you dodged a bullet. You did a J. Cole. You dodged a bullet there. Oh dear.
How do we even rank this one? I mean, apart from Manta.
Manta.
I say we rank them by sheer vibes.
Yeah, okay. Manta, Travesty, Hellfire, UFO for me.
Yeah, same. That's literally.
I'm gonna be potentially a bit spicy and/or weird here. I think the bots that we are already familiar with are all going to go 2 and 1. I think that Travis T, given what they managed to do to Minotaur and the things they've learned since that fight, might just be able to take out Manta, and that might be bias talking, but I'm going to stand by it here.
What the?
I can see it. I can see it.
What are you smoking, Zassa? What the fuck?
He is smoking something, and it is making him see some beautiful things.
It is worth mentioning that Manta did lose a weapon to hitting Original Sin and go off balance. Travis T's strategy for drum spinners was to just go for the weapon directly. If they could knock that weapon tooth off, that could be really bad for Manta.
I mean,
Travity's tactic for every robot is just go for the weapon.
Yes.
And I love it.
What else can they do?
Overkill, Minotaur, it's all the same to them.
What else can it actually do though? That's my question.
Well, this is the thing.
They can attack from all sorts of weird areas, but I appreciate that such a large and strange robot is just unapologetically a weapon on stilts, and they will shove it into whoever comes close to them.
I feel as well, but Manta has lost to Hexadecimator as well, so it's not infallible.
Yeah, if anyone can defeat it, it is the classic era brain Travis T, and I am fucking here for it if they pull it off.
If Hexadecimator can beat Manta, Iron Ore can also beat Manta.
All right, well, let's not get hasty.
What's the most forgettable UK live scene flipper?
I don't know. Is Scrapey a flipper? Is Scrappy?
Wait, Weird Malice could beat Manta. That's my hot take for today.
You know what? Fuck it. Yeah, sure. Weird Malice. Let's go.
Weird Malice. Shout out to Weird Malice. Yeah,
right.
I know it's boring. I don't see Manta losing any of its fights, even the Travis T fight.
That is probably the smart money. However, I am not a smart man.
My only worry with Travis T is if it fights Manta first. We don't know the order of these fights, to my knowledge. So my worry is if it does fight Manta first and gets its shit kicked in, then it may well have to forfeit a fight or I don't know how that works if a robot has to pull out.
There are 2 unrevealed reserves, so I imagine one of those 2 would step in.
Yeah,
just
Greg
bring
did tell me as well that
overkill
one of those reserves was set for a UFO just in case that doesn't come to fruition. But I imagine the other one might have been for Calypso, knowing that was the only Vertigo as well, I suppose, but the only kind of.
But we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to Vertigo a bit later.
Are we happy? Are we happy to go on to the next couple of groups?
Yeah. So that group is the 4th to the 6th of October. I don't think I said for the other group, but Malice's group is 27th to 29th of September. So we really are only talking a few weeks, and then we got new BattleBots, guys.
Wow! Yeah! Hell yeah!
About goddamn time.
We're loving it, but this group's quite sick as well.
So I think there is a picture that can just simply sum this group up perfectly. And of course, it is the meme in which, of course, there are those two girls just, of course, like fighting really, really hard at each other. And of course, in the background, there is like guys smoking weed. And I think that sums up this group perfectly.
Oh, that's weed. I thought it was crack.
I mean, it's something.
Could be
I don't
both.
think
The point is, that is this group.
Having a good time.
So magnitude for me is if Manta is the most exciting robot that I think could, apart from obviously Travis too, but I'm talking about like genuinely competitive. I think magnitude is comfortably second best in that area.
Fair enough.
I
mean, it did make the winners finals at Robo Games, so fair enough.
And it is not a hot take in the slightest that Manta and Magnitude was by far the best fight in Robo Games that year. You know, it was. I watched it with my girlfriend live, and we freaked the fuck out when it was all happening. So, like, okay, yes, Manta's drum was limited to they purposefully limited it to 150 miles an hour, but it was still an amazing fight. And Magnitude can, if it can go the distance, you know.
That's the thing that I really like with Magnitude it is fucking durable. That thing can take a beating.
It nearly went the distance twice with Hypershock, proving ground, which is some feat. So Magnitude, in case you don't know, is a robot built by Chad New, previously of Copperhead. He's been around in the sport for quite a while. I'm sure he'll tell you. He'll tell you himself.
He's a very, very nice dude as well.
Very nice guy. He is. Yeah, he's a great guy. He's got the 30-pound robot Yahoo, which I believe inspired Magnitude. Yahoo. Yeah, indeed. So, yeah, it's been, it's
they're
a really nice.
They're gonna definitely want that durability because the other big bot in the group is none other than Witch Doctor, 2-time finalist of BattleBots.
Yeah, so we've not seen
that. That is going to be an explosive thing.
Yeah, and we've not really had much documented on what upgrades they've got planned, if any at all. I'm hoping, as the time approaches, we might see some videos or something on the channel. Because, they've been really quite quiet since their exits are huge. But obviously their prowess can't be understated. They're a 2-time finalist. They're a rematch champion. They've almost done it all, really, in terms of, what you want really out of an all-star robot. They just need to win that giant nut.
Yeah, that's it. That's like it's like Minotaur in the fact that it's between those two as like the best robot currently in BattleBots to never win a giant nut.
Yeah.
And I'd even argue it's not even close. Consistently good every season. Adapting to new trends and new metas and still being at least top 8 every year.
And that's without massive, changes in design or anything like that. They've both been running fairly similar strategies and overall profiles for quite a while now, and still dominating the competition. And it's incredible to see.
There isn't really much to say about Witch Doctor that has not been already said. It is one of the best robots currently in the field, and I would even argue one of the greatest robots in robot combat generally. An absolute powerhouse of a machine that just, again, like I said, consistently does well. Again, smart money. They're probably going to top the group. Magnitude's going to be comfortably second.
Yeah, we've got two other robots as well, guys.
I know.
Actually, Chris,
which doctors happen though. But yeah,
no. So basically, Magnitude, this is its chance to get into World Championship 8 with its fight against Witch Doctor. If it does not do well in this fight, then that's a severe knock in its chances of getting into.
I don't know. I think it's
To
in
be
anyway.
fair,
Honestly, I think it probably has a
good as well,
spot
wasn't it?
mostly secured as is anyway.
Yeah, for sure. And I think its performance in Robo games has probably bolstered that a little bit as well.
Yeah.
That's true.
They had to go.
But of course, yeah.
They had to catch a flight. It was supposed to fight Blackjack, which is Jackpot's alter ego. Yeah, they just had to catch a flight. So
rip.
all the
Yeah, of course.
That wasn't versus Blackjack though. I don't think that was versus Raging Scotsman.
Oh yeah, sorry. The face the winner of Blackjack.
Because they beat Jackpot for 4th place and then made it.
They did in the end, yeah.
Which is still crazy to me.
Magnitude's big challenge is absolutely Witch Doctor. However, of course, that is not the only robot in this group that it has lost a fight to. So, of course, let's talk about its other terrifying opponent, Taco Tuesday.
Yes.
Well, you said lost a fight, but they did not lose to Taco Tuesday. It was declared a draw by the audience.
I forgot about that.
Of course, yeah, that's
which is still pretty wild.
Yeah, the first draw since what, 2001 or something like that.
I was gonna say Das
1999,
and then in the rematch, they immediately retaliated by flinging Taco Tuesday out of the arena.
That was fucking amazing. I was watching that back now. What a shot!
Really funny.
Wasn't it mostly a draw because it was the Taco Tuesday builder's birthday or something, or was that a different fight?
No, that was
that was a robot that we're going to come to shortly.
Yeah, that's a robot we're going to come to shortly. It was a tie because the audience can't be trusted to vote when meme bots are involved. Like,
it was
Magnitude could slap Rusty around the arena for 3 minutes, and they'd probably vote for Rusty to win. It's just that the audience can't be trusted.
It was to give Taco Tuesday the credit. They did put up a fairly solid fight, especially considering how good Magnitude is. You wouldn't expect a fairly memey bot, designed like a Taco to stand up to them, but it was able to, take hits and dish them out. But if actual judges were arena side, it definitely would have been a Magnitude win.
Yeah. So the fourth and final robot in the group is Doom. We've seen plenty of Doom outside of the televised show. Haven't seen any of Doom at all in the televised show.
Yeah, we haven't seen Doom for a while, actually, have we? Where was the last time we saw Doom?
Not in a fight.
It's been a while.
It's been a while since they had a proof of ground fight. They fought Cat Kong and Mortician back about a year ago.
Oh wow! It is a year ago.
A little over a year ago, I think.
So that's what they've been cooking.
But it's one of those where, with how long it's been out of the game, it could be a bit of a shaky ground, especially because they're already on very shaky ground to begin with. Not many wins to her name.
We still need to see more of Doom, more from Doom as well. The last time it fought a single heavyweight robot was against Gigabytes, and I think we all know what happened there.
Oh yeah, that didn't end well.
That fight.
No, I'm looking at the GIF now of how it lost, and yeah.
Put it on the screen, future Chris,
Yeah,
just so everyone can.
Maybe Chris will be kind of.
Just so everyone can just simply watch it. Oh, what a hit!
I'm just trying to refresh my memory.
Yeah, I'm trying.
It was a very comical match in which Gigabyte got a single hit before its weapon motor died.
Oh no! I just saw it as well.
Oh god!
That hit was enough to disjoint Doom's armor.
Yeah,
it was out of shape.
It's like
and
that.
Then it flipped itself over to get back over.
It's like that one gif of the guy who takes spaghetti out of his pockets and it's spilling out. That's what it looks like. Oh man.
Yeah, I didn't realize how it went, and I've just looked and oh god,
what a shame! What an absolute shame!
Doom is topping the group, by the way.
Oh, okay, that's big.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, I think it's safe to say that of course Witch Doctor's topping the group. Faculty's second. I want to say Doom third.
I don't think so.
Maybe, but it's depending on how well Takatusa can bite into it. But
I think the
more important thing is how well the Doom redesign has gone, because I know that they've been working hard on getting the new Doom build ready.
Yeah, I mean, they've also got to deal with weapon problems as well, don't they? Because the weapon's not been particularly potent in all of the fights it's been in.
Yeah, so I don't disagree with that lineup.
Although the potential overhead strike might be particularly dangerous to Taco given its design. We'll see.
Yeah,
that's true.
Maybe we'll get some more draws. Who knows? So the next group. Yeah. So what's this group number 5?
Yep.
We have got
Group E.
Group E. We have got none other than Terratops.
It's technically
shout out to Terratops. Shout out to B. Shout out to Terratops. Compared to where we saw it in World Championship 7, like massive improvement. I think, sure, it doesn't seem as impressive as your magnitudes or your mantas, but like, again, seeing how much better it is now compared to where it was 2 years ago, I don't know. I think it could make the bracket.
Honestly, it wasn't even bad 2 years ago either. So.
No, it wasn't. I think it could make. I could see it making the bracket in World Championship 8 if we have it.
Honestly, it might just end up there anyway. I do really think Terratops could be a legit competitor, especially in sort of a reverse whiplash where the disc stays in place while lifting on.
Yeah, I really love that Terratops came in with something ambitious, a dual weapon design, and made it work too. I mean, like we've seen for many years now on BattleBots, we've had a bunch of lifter robots who can't really get their opponents up in the air very much, who struggle to grab onto opponents. And we've had exceptions. Whiplash does it pretty well. Claw Viper is doing great at it. Overhaul has some good grappling ability. It's everything else that needs work. But Terratops came in with a totally new robot, a team that hadn't built anything before, and a dual weapon robot, and made their lifter work, and they were able to suplex fucking Mammoth in their first season.
Yeah. It didn't
which
just
is
work. It worked.
It was an incredible showing from them in that fight.
Yeah, it didn't just work, but it worked in the first 5 seconds. That's how good it was.
Yeah, like Terratops hasn't really had any teething issues, and if it has, then they've definitely not shown in the arena.
Yeah, and it's been consistently good, and I really like it, and I'm looking forward to seeing it fight more and fight some more established opponents as well. It's only fought a handful of really big names.
I hope it's got an answer.
It did beat Original Sin at Robo Games, which is pretty fucking cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I hope it's got an answer to horizontals. It did have a bit of a disappointing time against Rotator in its first season, and it has got 2 horizontals in its group. First of which, it's Bloodsport. What do we think about Bloodsport at the moment, guys?
Well, I mean,
I really hope they're coming back with the white paint job.
Oh, same.
Yeah, I mean, Bloodsport is kind of one of my favorite robots, just like as is right now. It's kind of filled the void in my heart that, of course, used to be filled by Ice Wave, and I'm just hoping that it gets to kind of live up to that. I guess spiritual predecessor, because. Yeah, no, I really hope Bloodsport
no one will ever
this.
fill the Ice Wave shaped hole in my heart. But Bloodsport has become Bloodsport has become one of the default robots I go to for what should X robot fight next season? Which I feel like would be very unfortunate for them if I was the matchmaker, because it's like, oh, who should we give huge? Bloodsport. Who should we give Starblade? Bloodsport. And they're just sitting there like, please, no. Have mercy.
I will say, I'm hoping Bloodsport.
They just seem like an interesting fight for everybody.
What's the word? Better maintained, really, because it had a bit of a rough showing in World Championship 7. It only went 2-5 off the top of my head.
It did, but it had some impressive fights. Even in its losses,
Yeah,
they also did.
Yeah, I mean, like it was. Yeah, like it was pretty much like beating Lockjaw, and then they just made a very big driving error. But like it was beating Lockjaw. It had that fight just like under wraps right then and there. Like it was very clearly winning.
Yeah, and that
they did also do the proving ground outing against Jackpot, and in the second fight, their weapon was coming along really nicely, and that was one of the big issues in World Championship 7. But I think there's reason to be excited about the new Bloodsport build.
Let's hope so.
Yeah. So the other horizontal is Hijinks, which again we've not seen since World Championship 7. I believe this is a rebuild, I want to say.
Yeah, I think it's getting remodified because World Championship 7 really showed the weaknesses that it had.
Yeah,
I know
for a fact it's getting new wheels, which I know, especially in fights like against Malice, they really kind of showed that they weren't up to scratch, those wheels.
Yep.
And due to like the drive and internals and everything like that, but if your wheels can't hold up to hits, you're not going to win any fights.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, of course, like I am probably the world's only Hijinks fan right now. I love kind of just like, I mean, of course, like I just love that it's a big weapon. I love how it's very openly queer. I think that's awesome, and we should have more robots like that in the sport. Of course, like especially at the level BattleBots is at, because this is a very queer heavy sport, and if you don't like that, then that's your problem.
Show them.
And of course, like it is a robot that has very much been falling through the ranks and is in genuine danger of being left out of the field entirely. So this is its chance to show that it can absolutely keep up with the best of them, and I very much hope it can. I hope this is where things start changing for Hijinks again, because I very much like it. I have an outweight currently being worked on that is inspired by it. Like I very much would like to see Hijinks' continued existence, because I would miss it if it wasn't there.
I remember when Jen posted a video about the new Hijinks, and she seemed very excited about it. Or like, I hope that this new version of Hijinks. I don't know if there's any pictures of new Hijinks yet, but I'm always gonna hope for good things for Jen. I just hope Hijinks can bounce back.
Yeah, I hope so as well. It always sucks if the bots get relegated because they just can't keep up, and Hijinks is definitely on the cusp of falling out of favour.
It would be a big shame. It would be a big shame if we lost Hijinks. It fills that kind of void that Scorponok kind of had. Scorponok, that's the one.
Yeah,
I'm still thinking of Scorpius.
Scorponok. I wish I knew. I wish I was really good at Photoshop, because I would have just made a really quick edit of both robots.
I'll see.
I think you just like put, of course, like Scorpios just in trans colors and call it a day.
I was going to say that. It's as easy as that.
The end of the arm, yeah. But I think it should be a fun one. I'm hoping that it's just not a bit of a damp squid. Like I say, it's fighting Bloodsport, horizontal v horizontal. That should be a fun one. Terratops, it might get its shit kicked in a little bit, but I hope not. I really do hope, Hijinks is able to prove itself again. It's one of those robots that we've thought, surely, we could have expected it at Proving Grounds by now. I know it's not been every team, but it's one of those really that it's been on the cusp. There was a lot of people, speaking out against it, speaking quite harshly about it at the end of last season. Yeah, it's a big group for Hijinks. I'd say more so than any of its other opponents.
Yeah, for sure.
Honestly, it might be out of the entire tournament, like the robot that needs to pick up some good performances more than anybody else.
Yeah. Well, I'm just
maybe
that'll do.
I'm a big Hijinks fan. I hope it does well. But then again, I like a lot of the robots in this group, so.
No, I mean, like, this group is probably the group I am most excited for. Just simply, of course, just simply because it is just simply 4 robots. Every single one of them, they have something to prove so much.
Yeah.
They all have something to
prove. And pretty much all of them feel like they could beat the rest of them as well. It's a super even group. So it's really
I'm very excited for this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is the first group where I'm like not so sure about where to sort of rank each machine. Like, my heart says Terratops and Hijinks will top the group, but you know, it's not clear cut at all.
I mean,
we have one more bot we haven't really talked about, right? So.
Switchback.
Let's
talk about Switchback.
I like Switchback.
Switchback. I don't know too much about what they've done since Proving Ground. They did lose out to Swamp Thing last time, which was a bit of a
they lost one and they beat it once as well.
Yeah.
Switchback. I'm gonna be honest, is a machine that's not really been the most impressive as of current. I know it's made for round 32. I know it's actually got a bit of a winning record as of current, but it's just kind of existed. Like,
so
it's
it lost
out 7 matches weren't spectacular aside from Hijinks.
Yeah, it lost out to Malice last time in the tournament, and it's worth noting it has fought Hijinks before. It's been quite a devastating loss for Hijinks. So hopefully, even if they just last the majority of the fight in that, it should be, enough of an improvement to start impressing people again.
I do hope Switchback picks up the pace, though, because it's definitely sort of fighting well, but I hope it does fight better than what it currently is, if it makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I like it. I like the look of it. It's a really pretty robot, very sleek design.
Sure.
I'm a fan of that.
Yeah. I don't really
I'm
think
curious to see what else will.
Terratops really could go either way. Then again, Terratops has just got the reach advantage, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's just
at least in terms
big
of
reach advantage.
I don't know if the Hijinks improvements are as good as really they need to be, then Switchback could be a trouble of being at the foot of the group here.
Yeah, however, of course, if Switchback also is also updated enough, then it could be at the top. Like, this really is anyone's game.
It is. We don't know really enough about Switchback's improvements or indeed Hijinks, but we are going to rank them anyway because that's what we do here.
Oh God! Oh shit!
I think. Okay, right. So I am just going back and forth. So I am just going to say immediately what is on my mind. Number 1, Bloodsport. Number 2, Terratops. Number 3, Hijinks. Number 4, Switchback. That is what I'm locking in, and I'm probably going to be completely wrong. And I love that I'm going to be completely wrong.
This will be the first group that I'm going solely by what my heart tells me instead of what my head tells me. I'm gonna go Terratops, Hijinks, Bloodsport, Switchback.
Wow. Okay.
If I'm going by my heart, then I think I want Hijinks to win the thing, and then Bloodsport's comes second, then Terratops, then Switchback.
We need that queer rep in BattleBots.
We absolutely do. Okay, I absolutely refuse to let that get stomped out because it's not good enough.
The games we need birds in BattleBots. Give us the owl.
Yeah, me personally, I'm gonna say Terratops might actually top this. I don't know. There's sort of a gut feeling that it might just do that, but it's all gonna be dependent on how well it can tank horizontal.
I'm gonna go different to you guys again. I also do think that Terratops is gonna top this. I have utmost faith in Ben, who is their captain. He's been doing brilliant work with Terratops since it started. Sophia, I think.
And he definitely drives Terratops, everybody.
Yes.
Keep that in mind. He is 100% the driver of Terratops.
And Burton is your driver of Terratops, and let nobody, Ben included, tell you otherwise. No, I think Sophia does a really good job driving Terratops as well. She's,
they
they
have really great synergy together, which I guess makes sense as siblings. But between the weapon control and the driving, they're really coordinated.
So
yeah, because
so I guess
you can be like a really good driver of a robot yourself, but if you don't have that synergy with the weapons operator, or vice versa, if you have a really good weapons operator and a driver that's not quite so good, then that can show as well. But these two have really got it down.
We saw that with a bit with Gigabyte last season. I think there were some issues between driving and weapon operation that caused some of the early problems. From what I've heard.
Certainly. So shall we move on to the next group then?
Can indeed. It is a big one.
Yep. Oh yeah, no, this is the group of death. Like, I don't think anything's leaving this group intact.
I'm just like, first off the bat, I am so happy that Tombstone's back. I mean, in a way, it never left. It was never Tombstone. Like, Tombstone's absence was something that sadly none of us would have wanted. With Ray Billings' hand, injuring his hand. But it's so good to see it back. Like, Tombstone elicits a very deep childlike joy in me that very few robots do. Like, it is just nothing but weapon, and it's a very old school robot in that sense, where it's just like big fuck off weapon. Who gives a shit about all the other stuff? Just fucking whack the shit out of a robot. And it's one of, if not the most historically significant robot in the history of the sport. It is one of the goats of robot combat in general. And so is Ray Billings. So to see it here again, it makes me very happy.
Yeah, I like it. Tombstone's back. We had Triton in World Championship 7, but it didn't really feel the same.
It's not the same. It's not the same. I like Triton, but it's not.
Yeah,
it's like if you try to replace Razor with Ming Free. Like, it's just not. It's just not the same.
Yeah, it's like, hey guys, it's a crusher.
Which ironically also happened in the 7th series of that show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, actually, Ming Free wasn't competing by Series 7. God, Zassa, you casual.
Was it Ming Dynasty by then?
Yeah, it was.
At that point, we had Tiberius instead.
They're all the same thing. All you British crushers.
Are you, Zassa, mate? I'm sorry. Did you just equate Ming Free with Quantum?
I am saying right now that 2017 Season 1 King of Bots champion Spectre is exactly the same as Rock.
Okay.
Wow. They are the same robot.
The noted Beast of Bodmin opponent Crusher is exactly the same as Quantum.
Yeah. And on that bombshell.
Exactly the same robot.
Wait a second, there's 2 more groups to talk about. What do you want about?
So,
on that bombshell?
So as we mentioned, this is the group of death. I think undoubtedly this is the group that everybody's looking towards. It's the first week of November.
It makes sense that the group of death is the one Tombstone's in, but they're not the only big horizontal. We've also got Valkyrie competing there.
Oh yes.
Yes. I would say that Valkyrie also has quite a lot to prove in this group. The question is, are they going to be able to prove it with the caliber of opponent they're against?
They do and they don't. I mean, Valkyrie is one of those bots that's...
They Lucy do. Sorry,
bad
joke.
Well, Lucy actually won't.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Because she will not be there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she not?
Dr. Lucy,
I'll
as we
just
should
say-
probably be calling her, she's I can't remember the specifics of it. She's done some very educational things, and
Oh, nice.
Good on her,
You know,
to be honest.
good for her. Good for her.
Yeah. Good on her for doing
yeah,
something
she
with her
will not
life.
be there. We don't know. Is it will Leanne be back? We've not really heard anything.
Oh, I don't know.
Obviously, we've not got Fred anymore. He used to drive Valkyrie. He's now with Ripperoni.
Yeah.
Whether he'll come back just for this, I don't know.
Have we
whether
got
they got somebody
Leanne
new
Gibson
entirely, I don't
returning?
know. I don't know.
Okay.
Genuinely don't know.
I don't know if she comes back. I did kind of miss her a bit last season because wasn't she off doing something else off the top of my head at
Can't
time?
remember
She
exactly
was
what.
busy. She was busy with something work related. I don't know what that is, but that's.
Yeah, but irrespective, she wasn't the driver of Valkyrie, and that's kind of the vacancy that's been opened up as well as captain, I guess. So who knows? Who knows?
Well, she might be coming back for this. I don't know for sure, but
Maybe it will be Lars, who is of course like finally in the captain's seat. You know, of course like the famed robot buyer Lars. You know, maybe he's finally wound his way on just like onto the team.
He's weaseled in
Maybe.
his way onto an actual team. He's bought the entire team, not just the robot.
If I had to guess, and this is total speculation, Alex Kreese has been part of the team since the very first season. He's been very much kind of behind the scenes, from what I understand, making Valkyrie, you know, in part what it is today.
Yeah.
Obviously, other team members have done a brilliant job with that as well. But Alex has been there since day one. I would expect, if I had to put money on it, that he might be the person that's, you know, possibly leading Valkyrie for this tournament. But that's just speculation on my part.
that's also assuming they pull from in the team. I mean, they did last time go for someone outside the team, so it's entirely possible we'll get someone else.
Yeah, it's entirely possible.
But I'm excited to see Valkyrie, and then them going against Tombstone should be pretty explosive.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
God, yeah. 2 most destructive robot award winners.
And they're not the only ones either. Because
oh my god, there are 3 most destructive.
Who also has a most destructive award under its belt is Hypershock.
Oh yes,
they're here as well.
Yes.
Oh dear.
So
yes,
listeners, you heard that correctly. There are 3 robots in this group who have won a BattleBots most destructive award.
Love it.
Yeah,
honestly, this group is what makes Manta's group even funnier. Oh my god.
I'm just going to say right there and then, Hypershock is almost certainly going to be the one I pick to be the top of the list.
I was going to say the same. It is my hands down pick to win this.
Hypershock has fought both of these robots within recent years. It did beat both of them by knockout. So I think it's
both of them with ease.
Entirely expected that they're the front runner right now.
Yeah, chances are we'll be seeing this version of Tombstone Hypershock earlier than the actual Remars fight.
Oh god,
you'll have to trust us on this though, that Hypershock won that encounter.
I think it won quite firmly, didn't it? Like it was a pretty easy win, I believe.
It was by all reports a fairly, maybe not close fight, but it was not easy for Hypershock. They took a ton of damage in the match.
Yeah.
Okay.
They came out of it looking like they had taken a vacation to Afghanistan. Like it was pretty brutal.
Jesus, dude. Okay.
What? I'm not wrong.
Yeah, it was one of those where you kind of look at it and it's like, but you've seen the other guy, you know.
Yeah, the other guy, Tombstone sitting in the corner on fire.
Yeah, exactly. And
it's worth noting, since we pointed it out with Valkyrie, that Tombstone also will not be driven by Ray Billings this time. It'll be driven by his son Justin. So that means that all three of these robots will be driven by someone different than when they won their most destructive.
Yeah, that's an
that is an interesting prospect.
Fair enough,
yeah.
actually. But
Alex has been really good with Hypershock, as we've seen, seen in Champions, and I may censor this because it is sport. Yeah, you'll see if it comes out.
Like, mate, everybody knows.
It might be a possibly hot take, but I personally believe that she does a better job driving Hypershock than Will does. Just because he is.
You hear that, Will?
He is a very chaotic driver, and the gyro tends to fuck him over on that a lot. I think.
I hope you're hearing this, Will. Zassa is it directly dissing you. You are responsible.
I've said it a few times in other places, and Will, you're really great. But I think she handles it a little better because she doesn't drive fast first into Riptide.
I cannot believe you just directly said "fuck Will Bales." What the hell, man? What the hell?
We're gonna get cancelled.
So what you're saying is is Alex Bales is a better driver than Will Bales?
I think she drives Hypershock better. I haven't seen either of them drive.
Wow.
I haven't seen either of them drive a non-Hypershock bike. So I
better driver than Will Bales.
You know what? Sure. I think Alex is a better driver than Will. Let's put it
Wow.
There we go.
Wow.
Oh, he just won't stop, would he? He is out of control.
To be fair, there aren't many people that take the sticks and win a competition in their first event.
Yeah,
which is what Alex did.
She's done an amazing job.
Will Bales didn't. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, Will, you only won one fight in your first heavyweight competition. What are you doing?
I think it's going to be me who's going to be fighting Will this time, not you. Oh, I am joking.
We're going to get some nasty letters from Will Bales.
Yeah.
I bet we could all take Will Bales. I bet we could all take Will.
We've talked about the big three in this group of death, and now we have the poor unfortunate soul who's been locked in this room with them.
So the reason why we have in this group of death somehow 5 spinners in a group of 4 robots. Orbitron is a dual disc spinner from
Canada.
That's from Canada.
Canada, that's the one.
Canadians are weird.
Something like that.
It is one of my two international robots.
Just because they are the odd bot out here in this group of horrifically dangerous robots does not mean they are not dangerous in and of themselves. They tore Disarray a new one the last time they showed up. They've definitely got a lot of potential. So we could see some big moves pulled, even if they go 0-3 in this weekend, just showing that they can stand up to the 3 established, really dangerous robots. Could be more than enough to get them a ticket to the show. They're very interesting robots.
I can honestly see a universe in which Orbitron is coming second. I can honestly see a universe in which, of course, Tombstone is still having teething issues with its new setup. Valkyrie's having issues having a completely new driver and a new team, and of course, Orbitron just gets to take advantage of that, and it gets to score some massive upsets. I can genuinely see that happening. I'm not ready to count out Orbitron just yet.
For them to beat Hypershock either. It's a good robot. So.
I
don't know about.
Orbitron's also got AI, but I'm not sure if that's still a thing or if that's been largely scrapped at this point.
I'm not entirely sure. You know what's weird? I could see Orbitron on beating. Orbitron is kind of like the successor in a sense. Totally different teams, obviously, but to Counter Revolution, if anyone remembers that one. Big dual disc spinners on either side.
And I do like Counter Revolution, so.
And Tombstone did beat Counter Revolution very much so in 2015, but that was 2015.
Yeah,
So,
we're now
a lot.
And it should be noted, Orbitron is like 5 times faster than Counter Revolution was, and that's pretty important.
And I should also mention that now that he's mentioned it being 2015, it's nearly been a decade since that happened.
Shut up!
Oh my god!
Shut up, Duke, mate. Why did you have to say that?
Time isn't real.
Stop.
Yeah, I think with the number of high-powered weapons, literally anyone could win this group because there's death at every corner.
It's going to be a massive.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one.
I think I would expect Hypershock to be the best prepared for this group in terms of bringing spare chassis.
Yeah, I was going to say they're bringing 3 whole robots.
Yeah,
they basically brought a Hypershock for like every fight, which is insane when you think about how much that must cost.
Yeah, I mean, say what you want about Hypershock, in whatever season it's been in. Again, it's never, apart from the Vertigo fight, I guess, it's never really has a pull out of a fight. The team have always been there. The team have always been ready. And
this time, they don't have to worry about not having the robot assembled when they show up, because it will be. They're just bringing through.
Yeah. So, for me, oh, God. It's also very difficult because, like I said, we don't know who's going to be driving Valkyrie, and that could be make or break. And with so much kind of uncertainty about what they've done since World Championship 7, for me, I'd probably have to say that they'd be bottom of the group.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
Which is a shame. I hope they can get some good fights in, but I don't see them beating any of the others, and which is a shame to say.
Yeah, I don't think any of these robots will come out of the group. Well, first off, unscathed, but second, like disappointing.
No,
I'd like to think that even Orbitron, I mean that as a rookie team compared to the other guys, could come out with the heads held high that maybe they can, last an entire fight with Tombstone. Maybe they can last a majority of a fight with Hypershock. Maybe they can take Valkyrie to, a crowd vote or judges, whatever they're doing. So I think Orbitron though would finish 3rd, and then I do just think Tombstone is still at a bit of an experimental stage in its career. They're trying new things. They've not had a load of time to test those in the battle box, and the one time that they did, they kind of got their shit kicked in by Hypershock. So I would expect Hypershock to top the group. Tombstone 2nd, Orbitron 3rd, Valkyrie 4th.
But
I would personally swap Orbitron and Tombstone, but yeah, I think that's generally the gist of my thoughts on this group.
Meanwhile, I think Orbitron might actually be dead last, to be honest with you. I know it's one of those that definitely can prove itself, but it's fighting against 2 machines that have established themselves as potentially destructive machines. And Orbitron having to split itself somewhat between both ends, I can potentially see being a problem for it in a weird sense, because if it gets caught out on the swing from Tombstone or Valkyrie, it might get severely damaged and hurt, but who's to say, really? It's all just dependent on how Valkyrie and Tombstone are driven.
The people on the Orbitron team have said how much has changed since the Roundhouse fight last year, and I'm inclined to believe them. They've got they have or had the the Hacksmith co-sign as well. So I genuinely, I know we sort of initially were like, Orbitron's in this group of death, but I think it'll be a tough one for me. Hypershock absolutely will top the group. I am gonna go on a whim and say Valkyrie 2nd, Tombstone 3rd, and Orbitron 2nd, but 4th. Sorry, but I don't think it will be I don't think Orbitron will be as far down as we expect it to be. I think it will be a close one at least.
I mean, this is the thing. We say this is a group of death. This isn't a group of death for Orbitron. This is a group of death because Orbitron is in it as well.
Yeah, it's a group of death.
It's a group of death. In general, all of these robots are really strong.
Yeah.
Yep. Shall we move on to the final group then?
Oh, I'm excited for this group.
This should be a fun one.
This should be an interesting one.
It's worth saying that this one was originally going to be the first group, taking place. Oh my god, September 6th. Is that next week? God, it is next Friday.
Yeah.
Fuck!
Personally, I'm
it's
glad
closer than we think.
I wouldn't have been able to make that.
Yeah, that's why they've changed it so that Zassa can attend. And
that's very nice of them.
So this is going to be Christmas week, guys. December 20th.
This is like a Christmas present.
Kind of. So this is going to be a full 5-6 weeks after the Tombstone group. But we have.
Or he's usually F1, right?
Oh,
so
yeah. So Formula One kind of rules the building for all of November, unfortunately.
Fuck you.
Yeah, all our homies hate
pulling up in the park.
I want to go on a.
Stands for fuck you.
So for people who don't know, like this is a bit of a tangent, but it's a funny tangent.
We'll allow it.
I used to. It's my podcast, so fuck you. I used to make Formula One videos back in the day, and I had a somewhat decent following, like not massive, but I had a couple of thousand subscribers in that area. And
get them out of
here. Fuck's sake, I've been a little disenfranchised with Formula One recently because of a certain Dutch Gollum-looking fella winning all the time.
No way to talk about Lars.
Fuck's sake! What's this all sneak dissing? What are you, Drake? Oh dear.
Lars, we love you. Please buy
we love you. Yeah, we love you, Lars.
Please buy my robot too. I'll offer it for 50 quid.
Lars, please see if it has its blade so I can brandish it as a weapon again.
I don't even have 50 quid on me right now, which is the scariest thing.
Yeah, well, like you aren't Lars, so it's okay.
Oh yeah, hi. My name's Lars. Welcome to ChattleBots. This is the. It's like Flog It, but it's called Bot It. No,
Get on with your tangent. Go.
I find there's a really great irony in the fact that this once other massive interest of mine, which obviously, I'll always love Formula One. I'm always going to be following it. Is one of the big reasons why, or not one of the big reasons, but like a large reason why BattleBots hadn't had a World Championship 8 for a while, or something close to it. And the sheer irony of that, like personal irony of that, I think is something that is never, ever, ever lost on me. And I know there's a few people who used to watch my Formula One stuff who have carried over to what I'm doing now, and I hope you know how much this pains me.
It's all your fault, Chris.
I know.
You heard it here first, folks. Grab your torches and pitchforks and go after this guy.
Yeah.
Drop a fat dislike on the video if you're still here.
Speaking of British terrors.
Yeah, in fact, I think you actually shouldn't like of course, I think you actually shouldn't like and subscribe this video.
Yeah, no, you should listen to the Robot Wars. You should listen to the Robot Wars history podcast instead.
Yeah, they've gotten going again.
There we go. There's some,
some
cross
promo going.
There's your little fucking cross promo.
Robot Wars history podcast, the only Robot Wars podcast that can get an episode out about Dominator 2.
2 years too late.
I mean, with a bit of luck, maybe with a bit of luck, we'll forget about this episode and upload it in like 3 years' time.
We've always got to one up them.
To just like age horribly. Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of down for that.
I mean, with the fact that I've got 2 episodes in the pipeline, it's not out of the question. But speaking of British terrors, we've got Cobalt in this group, and I fucking love Cobalt. Slightly biased because it's it was originally a Dave Moulds machine. It currently is not a Dave Moulds machine anymore. or it
They've
gave
cleaned
mold
out the
to one
mold.
machine. Yeah, they've broken the mold, and it's
now American.
And
out with the
speaking of
mold, in with the Maladnik.
speaking of things that were British and have now been adopted by Americans, this group also contains Slammo, who I'm personally very excited to see back.
Slammo.
Yeah, so
For
so
reasons I'm not
essentially this
quite
is
sure
the so of course like this is the group of the of course like traitors to the crown. So personally I hope they both lose.
We like to call them revolutionists around here. Thank you very much.
Oh, fuck's sake!
I am actually quite excited for the Cobalt Slammo matchup because it could potentially have happened about 2 years back, or no, sorry, 1 year back. Time is weird. When during the Gigabyte weekend, Slammo was slated to fight Gigabyte, but because they broke their weapon motor fighting Doom, and they had to go and fetch a new one, and they weren't ready in time to fight Slammo, they had Cobalt there for exhibitions, and they offered to have it fight They offered to have it fight Slammo instead, and Craig was like, "No, I prefer my robot to be in one piece." So
funny thing is, I could
fought Overkill instead.
Cobalts, funnily enough.
So now we're getting the fight about a year later. Well, it'll be a year and a half later by the time it happens. But that's not important.
Yeah, I will say, I think if Slammo wins, then that will be probably one of the funniest possible results.
I
would be so happy about that. I'm not a particular Cobalt fan, and I'm quite a Slammo fan, so that would make me a very happy boy.
All those,
it'd be great if the Slammo beat Cobalts, but it's essentially Hedgehog Craig Danby.
All those reboot Robot Wars fans who liked Foxic a little too much will be very gratified.
I think the word you're looking for is furries, Chris.
Fuck's
there is
sake.
a word for that, Chris. Yeah,
I was gonna say. Yeah.
I hate
we
it.
Hear
I hate that you're right. I hate that you're right.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, like I have been
speaking of fights that didn't happen. Oh no, go on. Steve, were you gonna say something?
Oh yeah, no. So I was just gonna say, of course, like I was. So like since the days like of actually Foxic, I have been a Chris Danby stan. Kind of like
a Chris Danby.
Yeah. But yeah, like I have been a Chris Danby. I have always cheered for his robots. I have always believed that of course, like we are just one season away from the run that we have been waiting for, and of course, like I've been saying this for almost 10 years now, but I feel like we are almost there. I feel like this could be the time in which we get a truly brilliant performance from a Chris Danby robot.
I hate to break it to you. Yeah, I was gonna say I hate to break it to you, but you have the wrong brother there.
If I'm getting his name wrong, then maybe I'm not such a stan. I think I need to go to my shrine and I just need to apologize.
Genuinely, I was listening to you and seeing if you had a point about Chris Danby, and I was like, oh, I wonder what you've got to say about.
I figured she was just going to evolve into, and now it's grown to both the Danbys, but no.
No, yeah, okay, right. So it was always Craig. It was always Craig for me. And I do.
It's always been Craig.
It was always Craig from the moment I first saw him.
Breaking news.
You see, that's where the trouble started. That smile, that damn smile.
Loss of drive.
Breaking news: Slammo replaced with Horus for BattleBots Proving Grounds.
Oh jeez!
Oh no!
Yeah, speaking of fights that didn't end up happening, we also have another robot in this group who has not battled yet, but who has been known for some time now. We have Vertigo, the
Yeah, I don't know what to think of it.
Hypershock team.
Also known as Redacted for a while. Remember all that whole?
Oh god, yeah, that was the
debacle?
thing.
They were initially
That's
scheduled to fight Magnitude in December of last year, but due to a lot of things, the bot did not end up getting built in time, and instead they brought Hypershock. But this time, they swear it's happening. I mean
It's time for real guys.
Yeah, so the simple fact is,
and we're gonna keep bullying them until they prove it.
Yeah, I mean, like, the
Vertigo-
simple fact is, I cannot judge it because I have no idea what it looks like. The
Yeah,
most
neither
I
can I.
know of is that it just looks like it is. Of course, like, is that it is a box with a, of course, like, with a wedge on the front, which is a design that was outdated by about 1997. So I really don't know what to expect from
The best way that I can describe it for folks at home who haven't seen the basic idea, and it may have changed since then, I'm not sure. They haven't really said too much about the basic design. It was essentially Hypershock if it became part of a human centipede with Saint Aggro from Robot Wars.
Ah,
What?
I feel like I explained it better. I'm not
That
gonna
was
lie.
the general idea.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could think. Hypershock that somehow had a flipper stapled onto the front of it.
Yeah, that was that way it could be completely invertible, and no matter which way up it was, it would still be able to flip properly. Which I think is a pretty neat idea.
My understanding is that it's like it's using the hyperdrive motors, which the team designed and are, kind of pushing into this one. It's got like a double-sided flipper, very much like Saint Aggro, but I hope a bit more powerful. That would be good. They showed like a little scaled-down model of the mechanism of the flipper back at where was it? Was it Orlando Maker Fair? I think in November last year. And they kind of brought people over saying, "Hey guys, this is kind of what the robot looks like. Make it look pretty." And I don't know if they ended up I assume they came up with them with their.
I think the original winning pick for that was like a blue and very bright pink, like neon coral type design.
Oh really?
That is a good color scheme. I do quite like that. That'd be a good color scheme.
The way that Kyle Honor of Hypershock, is the weapon operator, described it as offensively pink as possible.
Which is what it should be, in my opinion.
For a team whose flagship robot looks like the sun vomited on it. So, like, I think it's pretty in character.
Don't talk about vomiting on robots in front of Jack. We've established this. Come on.
And that's another run joke.
If you know, you know. If you don't,
my cat was sick in my robot. That is all the context that you need. I don't think that's ever happened to anybody else ever.
Listen,
so
that's something
keep your robots away from you. Yeah, like, you keep your robots away from your cats. This is an official warning.
So what's our ranking? Have we talked
about
Warthog
kind of
yet? We haven't talked about Warthog yet.
We have one more robot to talk about. And this is truly the weekend where pigs will learn to fly, because our robot is Warthog.
I love Warthog just from the pure fact that it is the absolute epitome of fan-made Robot Wars bullshittery.
You may remember it as that robot that tried to become a full-body hammer at Robo Games, or you may remember it as that robot that got beat twice by Conquering Clown in the year 2024. Or 2023. One of them. Time is moving.
I think the fact that Warthog wasn't part of the Paris 2024 breakdancing competition, I think I think its skill set was very much not used in the right way in proving grounds. But I like Warthog. It's silly. I like silly robots, and Warthog is a silly robot, and I like it.
Yeah.
It's a really neat concept. I like it. It's a flywheel flipper like flip, but it's a full body flipper, and that's a really interesting concept. I think there's a lot that needs working on. I mean, obviously it's a very experimental design, but
yes.
I think when it comes to Warthog, you know what it reminds me of the most? It's essentially a fan-made Robot Wars machine, just the way it'll operate.
Oh, pretty much, yeah.
You saw a bunch of those.
Like those Lego robots where someone just kind of slams their fingers down on the back of it and that powers the flipper.
Yes.
Yeah, it's that basically.
It was like that one guy who used Stinger as basically just a flipper, just whacked the mace down.
That was what I expect, funnily enough.
Oh, that's a classic. That's that's a deep cut. That is. Oh, love it. I have nothing else.
I think a lot about Warthog's weekend is going to be decided by how quickly it fights Cobalt, because that could be really bad for them if it's fight number one.
Yeah, that might end up being its only fight. I'll be honest with you.
I just don't think. I think Warthog's going to be last, and that's telling when there's a bot we haven't even seen yet.
Yeah. So I hope the best for it. Obviously, you know, as with every other robot in Face-Offs.
Yeah.
But
they're a really cool team as well. They're currently the only team I own a BattleBots poker chip for, which I think is really funny.
Oh, nice.
You got to get one somewhere.
All the ones I have, it's worth.
Yeah, it's worth saying. Chris Hatcher, who's the captain and builder, he's been with, I believe, Jackpot and Deep Six before now. So it's not like he's a totally new guy coming into this. Far from it. Obviously, though, there are limitations, and there is a very, I hate to say it, but a low ceiling for this robot. I think I don't see really how it can get wins in this group.
No.
Yeah, I think it has. Warthog is a bit too. I think the cap for its effectiveness is already pretty much there, unfortunately, which I find a massive shame. But I don't know. Maybe
it has a lot to prove. I could see it getting a wild upset, but I don't see it I don't see that upset being a likely thing. I think this group is definitely between Slamo and Cobalt. I'm not sure which one I would bet on to win.
My hot take is I think it's Slamo that's getting it.
Oh.
I'm not kidding. If it works, which Craig Danby, I know. Sorry, Craig Danby. But if it does work, I
don't you mean Chris Danby?
Damn.
If it does work, I can see absolutely Cobalt and throwing it over.
Yeah, I mean, that is very much
it could have been worse because this was the group that, as we mentioned before, Jackpot was supposed to be in.
Yeah.
So it could have been a lot worse for Vertigo. What? No, Warthog. But still, I'm not fancying its chances. For me, it's got to be dead last, unfortunately. From there, again, we just don't really know much about Vertigo. Will be driving it, seeing as Alex has, taken over Hypershock seemingly forever. So basically, on the unknown, I think I'm going to have to put Vertigo third. And then if Cobalt's as destructive as we know it can be, then really it should be walking this group.
Yeah.
And then Slamo, I think, comfortable second, which would be very good actually for Mr. Danby.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it would be nice to see.
I'm gonna.
I think Warthog's gonna go 3-0. I think it's gonna happen. Slamo has historically been unreliable. I love you, Craig Danby, but you're gonna lose to Warthog. Cobalt can't even self-right, so they're gonna lose to Warthog.
Well, it is worth noting they're testing out their new invertibility ears at this.
Yeah, it's Jover for them, and then Vertigo's not even going to show up, so Warthog's going to beat Overkill. So they're going to go 3-0, and it's going to be really neat. And because Warthog is like, it's a beautiful machine. It's like a human centipede of blip and axe backwards. You know, like they're going to go 3-0. Just trust the process. You heard it here first.
So I actually have a quick question based on something you said there. If Vertigo were to pull out, would that make Warthog the only robot to ever fight both Conquering Clown and Overkill?
Probably.
I think it's very possible.
Yes.
Yeah, that's such a weird feeling, given that it is now 2024. We are still.
It's gonna happen. Yeah.
Well, I do like the idea of that robot having warm, intimate evenings with a bunch of classic BattleBots and Robot Wars machines.
At Robo Games, it fought Echo. That's like a 30-year-old robot too. It should have won, by the way. And you know, just you know.
Trust the process. I love flippers, and I really want Vertigo to be unbelievable. But again, like Jack said, just to the idea of just it being unknown, I like it's Cobalt, Slammo, Vertigo, Warthog, and I'm happy with it just being like that.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I mean, orders might change when we hear a bit more about Vertigo. I'm sure we will hear more in the coming months.
I got a ride or die Slammo.
Yeah, it might be interesting actually in a few months. Maybe in the new year we'll come back and do a little, see what we all said, and
we'll do a little debrief. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess a good way to wrap this up is to just, of course, this is just simply ask, what group is, of course, like everybody looking forward to the most? Because I think I said before, I am easily most looking forward to the Bloodsport, Terratops, Switchback, Hijinks group. It would just be interesting to see how that plays out. I don't really know who is going to win, and everybody's going to be fighting tooth and nail to show that they are still relevant in how BattleBots is today.
I'm going to be boring. I like it's the Manta and Travis T group that I'm most excited about. Just like, utter destruction and domination versus absolute shithousery. And I cannot think of something more robot combat than that. And I'm so excited for it.
Meanwhile, I think Group F is one I want to wait on the most, because that is just going to be carnage incarnate. The rest of them, you've definitely got your fair share of destructive machines, but this is just nothing but full-on destruction, one after the other.
That one's exciting too. I mean, they're all exciting groups. Like, it's BattleBots in the year of our Lord 2024.
Yeah, you could never have that.
And I'm always going to be excited about that.
How about our two resident Americans? What are you thinking?
What am I thinking? What?
About
apparently nothing.
about BattleBots Face-Offs.
Which group are you most looking forward to?
Oh, I'm definitely looking forward to the Tombstone one, because I miss Tombstone. They're like the human centipede of like Raven and Abattoir, and it's just like a really cool robot. But no, for real, I'm very excited to see Tombstone come back. I'm excited to see Valkyrie again. Like Tombstone and Valkyrie are definitely two robots that I really love, so I'm looking forward to seeing them come back. Hypershock, obviously, the great robot, and I forget who the fourth one is, but I'm excited for them.
Orbitron.
I'm excited for Orbitron. Yeah, Orbitron's a cool robot. I think that they have a lot of potential. Even if they don't win a lot, I think that they'll still put on a pretty good show. But Orbitron's a cool robot. It's like it's like a human centipede of counter revolution and
This is terrible podcasting.
Chomp.
There you go.
Yeah, because that's AI. But yeah, no, that's one I'm looking forward to the most.
I'm. Whatever happens, I'm just going to be excited that there's robot combat happening.
That's fair. And then finally, Zassa, bring it home. Which
Do it.
I said it when we got to the group. My favorite by far, the one I'm looking forward to most, is the Travis T group because I cannot wait to see it kick Manta's teeth in. I am looking forward to that so much. It's going to be glorious, and I'm going to laugh at all of you when it happens because it's totally going to happen.
I mean, I personally hope it does.
I'd be okay with it. I'd pop off for that. I mean, Travis T is like the human centipede of.
Shut up!
That's how ChattleBots ends.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thank you for
We've officially said the phrase "human centipede" more times in this episode than there have been human centipede movies.
and ChattleBots episodes. Fuck's
Is there
sake!
not only one of them?
Oh god.
What?
It's like 3.
It's like,
What? That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm bringing the shit home.
They get worse and worse and worse. It's really bad.
guess what? There's going to be 4
Join us
soon.
next time for a discussion on the Human Centipede trilogy.
Well,
I hope that robots in them.
I hope everyone. I hope whoever's listening is enjoying this intimate evening. I want to thank everybody involved in this episode for joining me. I want to thank Greg and Trey for not giving up and making this thing happen. Yeah. Thank you for listening. If you like this episode, subscribe. If you didn't like this episode, subscribe. If you were completely neutral about this episode, subscribe. And yeah.
I didn't like this episode.
We also owe a very special thanks to Tom Six, the creator of the Human Centipede.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna thank Tom Six, dude.
Yeah, a visionary in the directing world. Recording that film was a lot of intimate evenings with him, so I can just amazing stuff.
I hope not.
I hope not as well. But if you want to film something that experimental, there's only one way to do it.
Can we stop the episode now?
So, subscribe to the BattleBots Wiki Patreon.
Thank you.
Go subscribe to Dottie Beep on YouTube.
YouTube channel I haven't uploaded to in a year.
Who gives a shit? And subscribe
to when it releases.
Subscribe to CJC, and we'll see you later. Ciao, ciao. Human Centipede. Goodbye. Maybe it's Maybelline. Bye bye.
See you around.
What the fuck? That was the greatest episode of ChattleBots ever.
Can I just say, Zassa, your transitions were flawless.